So I'm climbing to the top of the Old Man of Storr on the Isle of Skye. It's about an hour and 15-minute hike to the top, but there should be some beautiful scenery at the top, so it should be worth it. It is a beautiful day, so not sure what we're going to get. Hoping there's some moody clouds come over and create a bit of drama. But I'm pooped already.
It is time to leave. This is not a game for the faint of heart. I know you agree. No one knows who will be chosen to let the truth out in the open. I know exactly what to do. We need to find something.
So I'm about 45 minutes into the hike, and we can just about see the Old Man of Storr just there. But we have to do a loop around it, I believe. But there's no sun on it yet, so I'm hoping the sun comes out and creates some separation between it and the rest of the background. Onwards. I'm trying to get a good vantage point for the Old Man of Storr just there. It means climbing a bit higher up, but I think this is going to be the best spot to photograph it from, and also the sun's coming from that way as well. I'm just climbing up to this ridge just here.
It is time to lit a fire. We are in the darkest hour. Stumbling around, always feeling.
Well, it sure is beautiful from up here. I feel like I'm on top of the world. Just look at this view. And this is my reverse angle. Ah, stunning. So I think this is where I'm going to take the picture from, and just wait for the sun to create some drama on the Old Man of Storr. But what a spot for a picnic as well. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at. F9, 100th of a second, ISO 100. It's a little bit hot actually, so let's just take that down to about F11. There we go. Focus points on the Old Man of Storr, and I just took the reverse shot as well. Photographers should always look behind them because you never know what you might be missing.
On the journey back down, I spotted an opportunity with the sun dipping behind the rock, so quickly setting up my 24mm lens set to f13, which is a sweet spot for creating starbursts. I was able to capture probably my favourite shot from the trip up to Skye. 30th of a second and ISO 100. The next day, my wife and I decided to race the Jacobite train from Fort William to the Glenfinnan Viaduct. Built in 1898, this structure is now world famous for the Harry Potter movies. Using a simple framing technique to capture the viaduct from a point of view not often seen, I captured a nice little composition using an 85mm lens with f8 and 80th of a second. With the weather being a little flat today, I've opted for a time lapse of 160 frames with 1 second intervals, f11 and 40th of a second. And then with a well-timed gap in a rainstorm, I was able to capture an aerial video clip of the year. Hidden gems are found everywhere in Scotland if you have an adventurous streak and go looking down the road less travelled. Waiting for that perfect wave with fast continuous burst mode engaged is a tantalising tolerance and well worth the wait. Tip for planning a photo trip in and around water is to use apps like TidePoint to see when high and low tides happen. Some images are unattainable at the wrong time of day. So I'm going to take this photo using 2, possibly 3 frames. Because we're in a high dynamic range situation with the foreground and the boat being much darker than the sky and the seagulls overhead, I'll expose the boat at about a 15th of a second and capture the seagulls in flight and the properly exposed sky with 200th of a second, and then perform a touch of exposure blending in post. Capturing a stag or a young buck in the wild is always a thrill. I didn't have time to set up a video camera for fear of scaring him off, but as it happened, he was more than happy to pose for me.